Hi! So, yes, this is June, but that Total Stuff with Island Season 3 retrospective video isn't coming out until July. In fact, I haven't even started working on it because, well, say it with me now, I got sick and I had to lay in bed all day, and it lasted for about 2 weeks, so I've just wasted a lot of time. So, instead, I'm making a shorter, smaller video for June, because I kind of have to. Have you heard of the store, like supermarket, like limited edition collab thingamajiggy, where like a supermarket will collaborate with like a company to release like these little point systems, where if you buy enough product, you will gain a point, and then you will get like a Lightning McQueen backpack or something. You know what I'm talking about. I hope. I hope. The biggest example I can think of is when Tesco collaborated with Rovio to release the Angry Birds Star Wars plushies that you could get, which were just bigger, shittier versions of the Commonwealth plushies. And I almost had all of them, except for the Princess Leia Stella, because girl, and the Stormtrooper pig, because I guess we just forgot about it. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. No, we're going to be talking about something completely different, but somewhat similar to this. So have you heard of stikeez? No? Understandable, you are American. It was mostly just like a European thing, as you know, I'm European. Oh, yeah, I decided to just make a big comprehensive video essay on stikeez because no one else really wanted to make one. Which makes sense, because no one cares, and no one wants to. It's probably also why the purple and brown video didn't do too well, because no one cares, obviously. But I don't care. I'm doing this all for myself. Because I am significantly better than you. So stikeez was originally made by Zing, which are the Stickbot guys. Originally titled Icky Stikeez, was a toy line which featured these little... I have a bunch of these stikeez right here, which featured these little plasticky rubber guys with suction cups on their bottom that would stick to like any smooth surface. Really, it didn't really do so well. So in retaliation, Zing decided to collaborate with Lidl and a bunch of other supermarkets, but mostly Lidl because that's the only one I'm going to be talking about in this video. To like make a revival of stikeez, since it didn't really work so well. And I would say that it worked pretty decently for them in the long run. Yeah. Yeah. So I just described what a stikeez was. They're these little, again, rubbery suction cup guys that would come in these little like puffed up packages that you would squeeze and they would like pop out and stuff. They would usually cost about 50p. You could buy them along with the product that you bought from that little location, or you would buy enough product to get green packages, which are free if obviously you bought enough product. So Series 1 of the stikeez was originally released in 2013, but was re-released, or probably just forcibly released in different places, because I do remember getting the first series of stikeez like way later than they were supposed to be released, like actually released, at least in the location that was closest to me. First stikeez didn't really have any theme for it. It was just kind of random. It separated itself into like 4 little tiny groups: monsters, farm animals, aquatic animals, and jungle animals. They reused some of the Icky stikeez designs for this theme, just replacing the little white suction cup with a colored one, obviously. Now, the monsters were obviously the big play here. The big Jones, because they had more interesting designs than just a dog, you know. And actually, I have a couple here. I was a big fan of stikeez. I collected these a bunch of times when I was younger, and yeah, these are some of the designs. They're pretty simple and honestly also kind of useless, but yeah, they're pretty cool, I would say. I almost had all of them except for 3. I didn't have the duck, the giraffe, and Igor. I remembered his name because I really wanted him. Yes, he's part of the monster category. But years after Series 1 ended, I found him being sold by someone. Well, I know who sold it, but being sold by someone at like a school garage sale. So I obviously copped him, and now I had a figure, like a fucking drop. That was essentially Series 1. They released a bunch of commercials, which were really cool, because it was like the stikeez interacting with the child actors, right? Unlike the later commercials, which are a little bit different. But yeah, stikeez would also come with these little like boxes that you would store them in. The first one didn't really have any theme to it, because again, the series didn't have a theme. And it would also come with like a little collector's baggie, which no one bought. In 2014, the next year, we got stikeez Space, which was obviously space themed. Again, reusing some of the Icky Stikeez designs. Was a theme I didn't really collect because it was really only released in Germany. It was not released near my Lidl, so I couldn't really get them. But it was, but no, fuck, shit. Okay. But when me and my fam went to Germany later that year, maybe after that year, I don't really remember. We did stop by a Lidl in Germany and got a couple of them stikeez. I got the pink one, and then the one that's shaped like a dildo. But I have since lost those, which is really sad, obviously. But they were pretty cool. They also had like these little rarities. They recently added these rarities, right? Like you could have gotten like a glittery stikeez or like a glow in the dark one, right? And this was the first series to really do stuff with that. Now the big thing for stikeez Space, which doesn't really have to doesn't really have to do with any of that, but whatever. And this is probably gonna be the only time I'm gonna talk about this guy, maybe in the future, but like. For this year, probably. This is the only time I'm going to talk about him. But junkfoodtaster.com's video on the stikeez Space 2014 is one of the most nostalgic videos to me. It's that and like the Evan Tube video where he showcases off his like Clay Ehrman's figures. It's those two really. He's just this German guy who makes toy reviews, but just remove all the aids from the other toy reviews, and you got a pretty chill, like calm, kind of ASMR-y toy review. It's a classic video in my opinion. I liked it, and so the next year is 2015, obviously, and we got stikeez, like Aqua Ocean, like Deep Sea Edition, essentially. The box was shaped like a submarine, and that's why. Again, reusing some of the Icky Stikeez designs, these were more aquatic themed. It still kept the speckled, like glittery ones. I have them here actually. Look, there they are. And they also had glow in the dark ones too, just like stikeez Space, which I'll not be showing because that's really cringe. But yeah, some of these designs were actually really like decent. They were good. And some of them weren't even from Icky Stikeez, so good on you, Lidl, for coming up with something pretty decent. Like the main character of the theme, main character of this series, this one, has genuinely like a really good design, along with like Ka. He's not from Icky Stikeez, he's just a snake, but I do like his design a lot. And I did remember his name, which is really cool. Speaking of remembering names, the only one I was missing from this theme, as I had all of them aside from this one, was Chukapi, who I don't know what he is, but I really wanted him, so I'm really fucking pissed off. That I never had him. Again, throw him an F tier. I fucking hate that guy. It had a mobile game, which is new for stikeez, but also was a piece of shit video game that sucks. It's like slower, stiffer Super Meat Boy Forever, which I didn't even know you could do, really. But it sucks, honestly. I hate it. But the gimmick of the game is just go through each level, collect, like, lollipops, and then unlock the rest of the characters, which were all characters featured in the stikeez web series. I am so fucking tired. Now, so this is something I just recently discovered, so I didn't actually watch any episodes or really care to talk about it, but it did exist, and it felt a lot like those, you know, those like kid-friendly, talkless cartoons they would watch as a kid and be like, whoa, remember that? I don't remember that actually. That was the first half of stikeez. Now we're reaching the middle half of stikeez, which are the next 3 years. So in 2016, we got stikeez like football, which for my American viewers, I'm obviously referring to soccer, but I refuse to call it that because it sounds fucking stupid. Yeah, I really like the commercial for this one. I just like it. I don't have anything else to say. I just really like the commercial. So instead of having like icky stickies designs or little monsters, it had little dudes, for example, little like dudes with like a random like European country on them, like representing a random European country essentially. Yeah, I actually have the set here. I have the box for it. Yeah, you see stickies. You get a big football. Here's the back. There's nothing really interesting on the back. You would open it, and oh, I left the glow-in-the-dark ones here because they bothered me. I was planning to make this video actually last week, so I had these like stickies on my desk for like a week now. So yeah, that sucks. But yeah, as you can see, we have the collection here with the random little football players representing countries here. You got the England one, the Spain one, got like the Russian one, the Sweden one. This sucks. This video sucks. Yeah, as you can see, like the opposite side has the board game, which is cool. I had all of these. Yes, even the little exclusive like rare cup, which was just pearl gold. I was only missing the Iceland football player, but I had all of these. I just don't know exactly where they are. But yeah, that's essentially this series. It didn't come with a mobile game, I think. But I do like it. I think it's fun. I think the designs are really decent. And I like how Little decided to make their own instead of like asking Zing if they can use the rest of the rejects. I also don't really have any crazy stories to say about this year because I was actually kind of happy about this one. But 2017 was definitely a change. Like, definitely a big change. Yeah, a big change. I would say a big change for stikeez. As instead of using these little guys and the icky stickies designs, they started using anthropomorphized. Fuck, how do you say it? Anthropomorphized, like food, which makes sense since Lidl is a supermarket, so it does make a lot of sense for them to use, well, food. In 2017, we got the fruit versus vegetable line, which obviously made a lot of sense. The commercial is basically the same as the other ones, where the stickies are just doing some kind of stupid activity, and at the very end they land in like the kids' hands and stuff. That's literally all the commercials. But they're fine. I do like seeing the funny CGI stickies. The designs aren't particularly that like interesting, but some of them are really cool. Like here's Ben, the series mascot. I do like his design a lot. I didn't realize there was like a little bee on his chest there. I have a couple of these here, like the onion, lame as usual. I have the cucumber, like cool ass shades, but I cut his fucking head off. Smug ass DreamWorks looking pear too. Again, just like with the last two series, I was only missing one, which was the pumpkin, which for some reason in the commercial didn't have like the little like jack-o'-lantern like cuts for the eyes. It just had regular eyes. I don't know why. I hope someone got fired for that blunder. I think his name was Olas, which I think it's a really stupid, which I really think is a stupid name because that's just Italian and Olas. Hungarian essentially. It had a mobile game too. I remember, I don't have it anymore, and I don't really think there's any gameplay videos on it, but it was essentially, you know Heyday? You know, that one Supercell mobile game that no one cares about? Yeah, that. It was that. It was essentially that, but with these guys. Next year, 2018, instead of just creating another random series, it was actually a collab this time. Yes, Stikeez had a collab with Pollo, the creators of the Smurfs. For their 60th anniversary, they decided to collab with Stikeez to make Smurf Stikeez, which actually have the full set. I couldn't find it for the video, and I was impatient, so just imagine that it's here in my hand. Yeah. It was also kind of like a promotion for Smurfs The Lost Village, a movie that I know no one likes, but I've seen it, so I guess I kind of like it. All the Stikeez were essentially different characters from the Smurfs, right? Like Vanity Smurf, Clumsy, Brainy, obviously Gargamel, and the cat that I can't think of the name for. And like the different like rarities, like there were some glow in the dark ones, and then there was another pearl gold character, which was King Smurf. I don't know who the fuck King Smurf is. It doesn't really make sense. I'm just gonna assume he was made for this theme. But yeah, that's cool. I like that. You know, pearl gold. In Australia, they had Stikeez, but they had like actual fucking gold, like actual like golden Stikeez.
It's paid, you fuck.
Which is really, really interesting. Why did we get those? I wanted those. The last real series of the Stikeez that I've collected was the 2019 Stikeez, which kept the anthropomorphized Stikeez designs, this time for just regular food, as the theme was, again, regular food. The box was a refrigerator, the ad seen the Stikeez try to get inside the refrigerator. It was like food themed, essentially. Why the fuck are the two sides separated? There's no room for the fucking board game. What the fuck? Like, you pissed me off. But again, they weren't selling these near my legal location, so I got some of these from Hungary, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I do have some of these here. I have Teardrop from BFB, obviously. I also have the egg. I'm gonna eat your heart. 2020, we got Stikeez Home, which kept the alive character angle, but this time instead of foods, it was just random like home appliances, like a sofa or a blender, a light bulb, a toothbrush, right? You know, and then a guy and a girl. Stikeez. I'm guessing they were the rarer ones, but you know, I could have never witnessed it because it never was in my legal location. I never got them, and I couldn't care less really because I honestly think this series of Stikeez is kind of lame. The last series of Stikeez we got was in 2021 with the Regional Foods series. Again, it was food themed. This time it was just foods from like other like countries, right? Like taco, there was like sushi, a macaroon, pizza, right? You know, like I think you know how to pinpoint what countries they belong to. Again, it didn't really come in my legal location, so I could never get them. I'm guessing it was like a Hungarian thing because the ad I saw for it was in Hungarian. So yeah. Which is really interesting. Why weren't there any Stikeez at my legal location? Well, I have this theory that they weren't being sold that well anymore. So Lidl was just like, I guess wanted it, or maybe their contract with Zing expired. I don't know, but all I know is that we haven't gotten Stikeez since 2021. Sad, but I know I wouldn't be able to get any of them since I don't really travel that often. So that was the video on Stikeez. I know it's a bit shorter, but it was meant to be a shorter video since June is about to end. I keep forgetting that it has 30 days and not 31. So, yeah. But don't worry, that TSFI video will most likely be 2 hours long, so that fucking sucks. That's a lot of work on my end, but I will make the video happen. That video will be peak, and you will watch it. And you will watch it, okay? If you don't watch it, we can still subscribe. I had to write it mirrored so it would look, so it would say subscribe. Yeah.